Hey everyone, it's CJ from Principal Crypto. Today I want to talk through some of the common misconceptions that people have when they get into cryptocurrency, as well as how I would approach growing a small portfolio in the crypto environment that we find ourselves in right now. So the first thing I hear is that it's too late to get into cryptocurrency, that the market's already taken off and that, you're behind the eight ball. That's really not true at all. First off, it's never too late to get into cryptocurrency. Secondly, I think this has been reiterated so much just because of how prevalent the claims are on social media and other platforms about how much money people have made and how it's all over. Social media is really an echo chamber for those types of people, and it's also highly exaggerated. You can't really rely on a lot of what people are putting out there, so figure out who you trust and follow them, but tune out the rest of it as it's likely noise. Secondly, less than 1% of the global population actually owns Bitcoin. So in terms of population, we're way ahead of the curve. I've also seen a lot of people say that they can't make big returns because they don't have a lot of money to start off with. That's really not true in the crypto space. I think this thought stems from those who trade a lot on the Ethereum network. Unfortunately, the gas fees on Ethereum exchanges such as Uniswap or SushiSwap are really exorbitant right now. If you have maybe $1,000 account, you're likely paying about $50 to trade a token to both get into and get out of it. That's 10% of your portfolio gone right there in fees. So it's really hard to make a profit when you're giving up 10% right off the bat. That's why if I were a new trader, I would actually avoid Ethereum for right now until they get the layer 2 figured out and bring those gas fees down. I also see a lot of Bitcoin maximalism going on, and really everyone just following Bitcoin as the only option to make money in cryptocurrency. I really don't agree with that view at all, and we can take a look at some of the other coins that have pumped significantly over the last few months. Bitcoin's certainly done well over the last few months, but it's nothing in comparison to some of these other coins that have done 10x, 50x, even 100x in the same time frame. So I would definitely recommend new investors look for alternative methods to making money, because Bitcoin's probably not going to grow as significantly as some of these other options. In addition to finding altcoins that are really taking off, you also have a good opportunity to earn yield on your altcoins. Right now, I'm staking a coin where I'm earning about 2,500% APY. So that means I should expect to return about 100% or double my money in only about 2 weeks' time. Now, there are risks to this, but you're not going to find that type of ROI on Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any of the other stable coins. You need to look a little bit further under the radar to get into these types of returns. The last and certainly most prominent concern about investing in cryptocurrency is just the risk that's associated with it. Now, that's definitely not a misconception. There is risk in any type of investment, especially in cryptocurrency. That being said, I view risk on a spectrum, and along with that spectrum, there's also a varying amount of reward. So if we look at the most stable assets, we would look at something like a stable coin, US dollars Tether or DAI. Those are pegged to the US dollar, so they don't fluctuate in price, and they're almost never going to fail. You can return a small APY investing those in certain projects, anywhere between 5 and I've actually seen up to 20% recently, which is pretty good for a very low risk investment, but there's definitely better options. As we continue up the spectrum and get into some of our medium to high risk options, we would start to see some of the mid and low cap altcoins. So these will be the ones that have likely launched in the recent past and started to gain some traction. They've probably done significant multiples in the last few months. Coins such as Lena, SRM, and Luxo. The small cap alts are those under, say, $100 million that are still trying to gain traction in the market. They could be on a high upward trajectory, or they could be going a little bit more slowly, but there's a lot of value in these as it makes up a big sector of the market. What you really need to be careful with in these coins, though, are scams and rug pulls. Last but not least, there's the new launches, those that are about to go on the market via an ICO, IFO, IDO, or any other acronym that means a new launch. These ones have the potential to 2x, 5x, 10x, 100x in a matter of days, and getting it in the pre-sale can be a big benefit to you. That being said, there's also a huge amount of risk to these ones, as there's no guarantee that once that pre-sale closes, that they're not going to pull the rug out on you, or there's not a bad actor waiting to flood the market and take profit. However, there's also a huge amount of variance here in terms of the risk for new launches. Some projects have a huge community behind them, a very well-established team, and a great vision. Take Luxo, for example. I was fortunate to get in on this one during their direct or the reverse IDO at about $2.50, and in a matter of months, they were over $20. That was an initial offering that I felt very confident in. It had a great community and team behind it, and if I could go back in time, I would triple what I put down on it and hold it for longer. But given the hype around launches, there are a lot of fly-by-night operations that are just looking to take your money. So you really need to do your own research and ensure you're investing in something that's going to be valuable in the long term. So now that we've cleared up some of those common misconceptions, I'll tell you how I would approach the market if I were starting with, say, $1,000 today. The first thing I would do is get on Binance Smart Chain. And the reason for that is pretty simple. It's a high-speed, low-transaction chain with a lot of options, and it's really seeing its maturity right now. Let's take a look at some of the recent IFOs that have taken place. We've got Belt Finance, which just took place on March 10th. They priced Belt at $20 each, and right now it is over $60, and it peaked at close to $200. So that would have been a 10x on the original investment in just a day's time or so, and still 3x right now. We also saw Berry take place in February. They priced at 50 cents a token, and right now Berry is sitting at over $6 a token, so that's more than a 10x, and they actually peaked over 30, which I think would have been close to a 60x. And then YieldWatch came out at 10 cents per token. This was in early March as well. They're now close to $1, so that's almost a 10x, but they peaked at about $3, which would have been 30x. So huge returns available during these IFOs, and they're open to the public. In addition to that, they have lotteries, so I could use the cake that I purchased to go ahead and enter a lottery. I actually have a couple tickets here waiting for a draw, and if you match numbers 1, 2, or 2, 3, or 4, you get the prize pot here of cake. So that's another great incentive to actually utilize PancakeSwap. And PancakeSwap isn't the only platform, it's just the one that's the most robust right now. In addition to PancakeSwap, I'm actually staking on another BSC platform. This is Launch Zone or PoolX. If you guys are interested, I'll put a link in the description for this one. This is the one where I have about 2,400% API, which again is just pretty absurd. There is a lockup associated with this, so I only get about 20% of my tokens immediately, and the rest are locked up for, I can't remember if it's 6 months or a year. But I actually do prefer that model. Otherwise, the market would be instantly flooded with all of these tokens that were mined, or farmed rather, and it would drive down the price of the coin. So I hope this has been helpful in demystifying some of those misconceptions around cryptocurrency and the risks that are associated with it, along with the best ways to invest. I'm considering doing a challenge of turning maybe $1,000 into $10,000 on the Binance Smart Chain over the next few months. If you'd be interested in seeing that, definitely let me know in the comments below, and I'll get that set up in the upcoming weeks. As always, if you've enjoyed the content, please make sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment with any questions you have. I do respond to all of them. This has been CJ for Principal Crypto. Thanks for your time, and keep collecting those gems.